So Arsenal have announced Andrea Berta as the new sporting director. We knew this was coming. We knew it was going to be announced before the end of the international break, although, I mean, technically Arsenal's international break's sort of still going on. Obviously, we know FA Cup football's played. We haven't enjoyed that in March for a while. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Berta's been announced, and look, I mean, I could just rehash everything we've talked about when it comes to this appointment before, the experience he comes with, what he's done at Atletico Madrid, the to-do list, the work he's got. I've got a video out on the channel, go watch that. That's on the main Goonerverse channel, talking about, everything he's got to do, from the contracts to really addressing that forward line, to the replenishing of the squad, to, actually changing the way the market views how Arsenal sell. So he's got a lot of work to do. He's got to do this all in line with Mikel Arteta, who has, from a distance, and obviously we don't know what's always going on behind the scenes, but it's felt to me like he's always had a preference for doing particular business, whether it be, the kind of constant turnaround of goalkeepers, as long as there's an upgrade in that position, the, relentless signing of defenders. Now, I'm not saying that all that's been bad business. I'm just saying that on top of that, we need to do a little bit more. And is that because of the funds not being available from the Cronkies? Is that Edu not getting business done? We have talked about all this. And what I think a lot of fans are feeling, interesting, I don't know if I feel this, but I'm just sort of relaying the thoughts of others. Andrea Berta might expose, and I don't like using that word because it sort of feels so dramatic, doesn't it? But let's say he might give us a real insight into where the shortcomings are at Arsenal in terms of getting particular business done. If he comes in and delivers a load of forwards, I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but you'd assume all that means Edu maybe wasn't quite getting it done on that front. But then you never know, did the situation become more desperate come this summer? Was it always a plan to go big on that position this summer? So you can't necessarily say it's just the Berta effect that's allowed us to get forwards. But I think if we are to invest in other areas, the money being there, with his track record, not delivering on a really kind of problem position, would tell us that there's a reluctance from Arteta to spend in that position unless it's a very particular player, that there's maybe a reluctance to part with particular funds from the Cronkies. That's what I mean by we're going to learn a lot from the Berta report, or at least a lot of people feel that, and I am sort of on that wavelength too, to be honest. He had some nice words to say. He said that he's been watching what Arsenal have been doing from a distance, kind of really admiring the project and the work that's been going on. And Josh Kroenke basically said anyone who knows football knows that, essentially Berta's one of the best in the business. And it's his experience and his, I think he said hunger or appetite for winning or something, relentless hunger for winning. I'm paraphrasing, or something along the lines of that, which is great to hear. All of that kind of, was kind of nice words which you expect to see in a statement. So the work starts now. In fact, it's probably been going on for a little while now, in terms of, I imagine when he got the job, a lot of it was him saying, this is what I can do, this is the players that we should look at. I don't think they'll be coming in a day one and say, right, who do you want to sign? I think a lot of that would have been discussed already. Are you happy with the Zubimendi deal, which, since we talked about it on the Goonerverse too, a lot of reports from England are saying, look, Arsenal's still confident of signing that player. So I guess Berta will be comfortable with carrying on with that deal. He'll know him a lot from Spanish football, Zubimendi, and obviously Berta's time at Atletico Madrid. But again, he would have put forward a lot of options, a lot of players. Apparently he wants Guimaraes as well as Zubimendi to add to the midfield. Probably feels that we need a bit of an overhaul there with Jorginho and Partey leaving. Us being a bit short in creativity, you could probably see why. Apparently Isak is Arsenal's top target, but again, if he doesn't deliver on that, what's Berta got next? Because if we go for a Sesko, that's, to me, is something the club's been working on for a while, so maybe he's happy to carry on, maybe he backs that deal. Likewise, he could be looking at other options. He might come in and go, because Atletico have always gone big on strikers. That is a position they've always been happy to invest in. He might go, listen, get Gyökeres for 70 minutes. He's been scoring goals, proving he can score goals. Basically, we look at the players Atletico signed over the years, and they're not always been targets and players that we'd have been over the moon with signing. But when you look at the money they've invested in that position, they've sort of been quite, not always, I don't want to sort of generalise all their sort of recruitment in that era, but a lot of them have been quite obvious signings in a way, right? Go get a Memphis Depay, a Julian Alvarez, players like that. We all know they're good footballers, right? So I wonder if there is someone a bit kind of more on the nose that he might go for. Gyökeres might be that type. Who else we've been linked with? Hugo Ekitike we've been linked with a bit recently, but as like an alternative to Isak. But when you look at that, you think that Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know, right? He could go in a lot of directions, and he'll have to slot into what the club's philosophy has been, what the scouting departments have done, and crucially what Mikel Arteta would want. But I just wonder if on that forward department there's someone, like I said, a bit more on the nose, a bit more obvious, like Gyökeres he might go for. But that's it. He's been announced. Andrea Berta is Arsenal new sporting director. I think it's quite a bold appointment. I'm glad he's done it. I think it's a club appointment. I don't think it's one just to fit in with what Mikel Arteta wants. But anyway, there we go. That saga is done. We knew it was, but that's the confirmation. Andrea Berta is Arsenal's new sporting director. Who do you think his new signing will be? Let me know in the comment section below. And go subscribe to the Goonerverse too. And the Goonerverse for more analysis and real breakdown on breaking news and all the latest big news updates we'll have on the main channel. And then extras, additions to the news we've covered, we'll talk about here on the Goonerverse too. Anyway, catch you on a bit.